Warning. We are not journalists. We are not players. We aren't even in a union. We simply love the Premier League and happen to live in America. We are not experts. We will say dumb shit. Thank you and welcome to Premerica.
Premerica! Premerica! Ho ho!
3, 2. I don't have to actually do that anymore. Okay. Hello and welcome back to Premerica. I'm your host, Mike Weinberg, joined by my friends Sam Thomas and Michael Liberman. And if you don't know us, Premerica is your virtual pub for all things Premier League right here in America. We talk a little shop, we talk a little shit, and we keep you up to date on all things happening in the best league in the world. So grab your friends. Let's talk Prem. Boys, we come together Friday, April 10th, as the first game of the new week is today for Prem. We are back. And we are back with the last 6 weeks of the season, and there's a lot of interesting storylines going on. But before we get into Prem, which we have a lot to talk about, I want to quickly reflect on our Champions League emergency show that we did earlier this week, because we made a few predictions, and actually, many of them came true, and I just wanted to quickly touch on those. Did you boys, you watched your own games? Or I guess, Sam, you kind of fast-forwarded a little bit, but you watched what you could.
A broken clock is right twice a day, as they say. You know what I mean? So it's, we figured it out.
Yeah, but the predictions were decently straightforward because it was, all right, Liverpool will lose. Arsenal will likely look bad but win, and then Bayern and Madrid will be the best game of the set, which was kind of what happened.
Yes.
Totally.
So I will quickly run through them. On Tuesday, Madrid versus Bayern, Michael said he thought Bayern would win, which is true. And we agreed wholeheartely that it would be a much more fun match than Arsenal Sporting, and it absolutely was. So
Yes, it was.
No questions there.
Yeah, it was an
And then
amazing
on
match.
Wednesday,
amazing match to watch.
It was fun.
it was
Beautiful game. Beautiful.
I mean, PSG, like we said in that game, is just that team to watch is just. I'm sorry, Bayern. I was about to get to PSG. Bayern was super fun to watch. PSG is what I was about to say versus Liverpool. Super fun to watch. And Sam was like, it's going to be free-flowing, open, and lots of goals. There were, but only for PSG.
Only one way. And then at halftime,
only one way.
It went the other way.
The other way, yes. So it was fun, but it was PSG is so much fun to watch. I mean, the way they play, and they just get those goals where you're like, wow. And it should have been like 5. I mean, it really got out of control.
The way their front line just sort of like rotates around, it doesn't have like a permanent position, but they're always sort of like it's really beautiful football. Yeah.
Yeah, there was an interesting quote that Enrique wants to actually adopt that across all 10 of his outfield players, and it was interesting because so first of all, he's just like clearly a manager riding the high of being at the summit. Like he won the Champions League last year, and he just like thinks he's untouchable so much so that he literally shipped off Donnarumma, the best goalie in the world, and it's also still working somehow, seemingly.
Fine. Yeah.
So like he just like everything he touches turns to gold, and now his whole thing is he wants the 10 outfielder players to interchange. And so and he was serious. Like there were times where Hakimi, the right back, he was breaking down the left wing to start. Like he was like sending in like breaks and crosses from the left wing, and vice versa with Mendy. And it was just like, it actually was like, they were just kind of playing the 10 guys everywhere and just flowing through. It was both beautiful and also brutal to watch.
Torture.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole French thing too. You hear them like screaming their things in the stands, and you're just like, ugh, but it's so pretty. It's got honestly kind of very French, very kind of French feel overall, like through line of the whole thing feels very French. And then finally, speaking of French, let's get to the Spanish. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, they played, and funny enough, we were like, oh, there'll probably be a red card. And sure enough, there was a fucking red card, and it completely changed the game. And Barcelona lost, though, 2-0, and goes back now to Madrid, down 2 goals. And PSG goes to Liverpool down 2 goals. Interesting stuff coming up next week.
Yeah, and that free kick from Julian Alvarez was beautiful. Oh, my God. Top ends, gorgeous. Look it up if you guys haven't seen it.
Yes,
the Spanish just their goal, like I was watching some highlight stuff. You just see some stuff. You're just like, oh, and we talk a big game about Prem. Speaking of which, let's get into it. So we've got 6 weeks left. The Prem race is very significant, and I wanted to talk about it in 3 different storylines because I think there are 3 main things to talk about
Ooh, he's got arcs
through
for
the
us.
overall,
Ooh,
and I was
story
going to
time.
ask you which direction we wanted to go, but I've already made the decision. So
Wow,
we're
you
going to
Let's do
have
talk
it.
about it.
so I've got 3 arcs for you, and then I'm gonna decide in which order and how I want to speak about it. I will cue you in to speak. Cool. All right, this is an
Yeah,
easy show. We love this show. That's
You
great.
fantastic.
you asked me to steer. I'm steering. Get your hands off my wheel. So 3 Prem storylines. Number 1, there is. I'm gonna quickly highlight them, and then we'll jump into the first one. The championship race, which does feel like mostly a 1-horse race, but we do need to talk about it because still some interesting things could happen. Number 2, the Champions League battle, which I think is quite interesting. And if you look at the table, it it may be 2, it could be 4, it could be 6. There's some interesting things that could happen. And finally, of course, the relegation battle, which who would have thought that today the Wolves West Ham game would have very serious implications for Tottenham Hotspur and whether they are going to stay up or not. So, let's start with the championship race and we'll make our way down because it gets funnier as we go down. Starting with the championship race. Today, Michael, Arsenal sit 9 points up on City after the
Mhm,
break. City has Chelsea this weekend. Arsenal's hosting Bournemouth. Bournemouth. I
mhm.
think it's Bournemouth. Yep, Bournemouth in the morning game tomorrow.
Yep.
How we feeling, Michael? What's the Arsenal? You got the W this week,
Yeah,
so how has that
yeah.
changed your
It
feelings?
has. It has. Yeah. I mean, feeling good. We had a definite stumble to competitions in a row, which was not fun to watch, but ultimately, we're still up for grabs on the biggest titles out there. We got our win, which it felt like the whole Arsenal fan base sort of just needed to see us get a win. It feels like it was big for the players too. So, hopefully we can bring that into tomorrow, the noon game local time. It'll be 6:30 here Central, and I am rearing and ready to go. Hopefully we can get it done, professional win, and then we get to watch you guys play.
Sam, what is your feelings? 6 weeks out, looking at City and Arsenal, what do you think? You think Arsenal's going to run away? Do you think it's going to get into little? They do play each other next
What do
weekend,
I
so
think? What do I think? What do I think? What do I think? No, if I'm being honest, I think that the media is trying their best to create a narrative that this is a title race, but Arsenal's been the best team all year consistently in the Prem. They've slipped up in some other competitions recently, yeah, but just nuts to bolts from start to finish. They've been like City had major dips earlier in the year.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, they
now
did.
this feels to me like a media trying their best to be like, it's a title race, it's a title race. Like it's 9 points. It might easily be 11 after this weekend. Yes, there's a game in hand. Yes, they play each other. Like, I'm not even saying that. Anything can happen. Of course, it's fucking football, but like, you just have to, at a certain point, you have to say Arsenal's been, especially in the Premier League, the most consistent team all season. And as such, they're 9 points clear with 7 matches to go. Like, that's substantial.
Yes, yes, it is. We will see what happens. I agree. It does feel like they have to make some kind of media,
They gotta
but I think
sell papers, baby. They gotta
I
Gotta
sell
sell
mean,
papers. You know
papers.
what I'm saying?
Gotta sell papers.
Papers
Gotta
ain't
sell
gonna sell
papers.
themselves. You know what I mean?
oh my
Gotta
God,
sell papers.
what do you think? Like Pep after you think Pep text Arteta like congrats or just like the
Yeah,
hey look.
I mean the Pep mind games are always top notch. But listen. I think even Pep's celebrations after the EFL Cup final told me everything
Yeah,
I need to know.
yeah,
He was going to try to make that seem like that was the biggest match of the year because he knows they're not. They ain't catching the Goonies.
yeah.
Right.
No, agreed.
Well, I
Well,
mean, they can still end up with 2 trophies. I mean, if you look at the FA Cup, City can still end up with 2 trophies this year.
they're
And
the favorites too. So that is
right,
true. They get the shit trophies,
with
and Arsenal is favored to win the big
well,
ones too.
Yeah.
So,
No,
or at least one for sure.
to close it up, my gut is that this is not going to be. My gut is that this will likely go more towards a comfortable 10 plus for Arsenal. Then it gets tight. I will say if it gets tight, then all of a sudden the advantage starts to flip to City. But I just think Arsenal just has been more consistent. I think that they'll do that. I think where we're going next is the most fascinating thing, because the
Agreed.
Champions League places, it is a absolute case of this year, who
It's
doesn't
absurd.
want it less?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and are the
And-
top clubs gonna not want it less so much that like a Brentford is gonna sneak up and like do this, like or somebody
I
like
mean,
it's yeah
2 points on Chelsea, 3 on Liverpool. So the 5th place right now is at 49 Liverpool, 48 for Chelsea. Brentford and Everton, who play each other tomorrow, are 46 each. So if one of them wins, they are even with Liverpool, and Liverpool is not
yeah.
looking like
And by the way, you know
they're
who
making a case to win.
Liverpool plays Fulham this week, and then afterwards they go to Everton.
Everton we get. Yeah. So you're talking about, and then Chelsea literally just can't function. They look like they're just slowly falling apart. Villa seemingly has stopped the bleeding, and United
With
and Villa
one
are now
result. But this is the
with
best
one
thing about
result.
it. That this is why it'll be
And
so
and
good coming out of the stretch. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
and yeah, no, with one result. But it's like I'm looking at this. It is crazy. It is like top 4, and then I mean, literally, it is an absolute slugfest, and the results are just all over the place. It feels like you just roll a die, and like it's going to be a draw one week, a loss the next, win. It's honestly absurd.
And the
It's gonna be
reason
fun.
for that, though, is thanks to Chelsea and Liverpool's form, because we've talked all season about how clumped the middle of the pack is, and now what's happened is that the 5 and 6 have just sort of slowly dripped down to the middle of the pack ish. So it's going to be like, but the thing is, genuinely, Mike Weinberg, to your point, like with Villa righting the ship, they won one match.
I guess,
Like
by the way, against West Ham, I just looked it up. It's like
yeah, they beat West
it wasn't
Ham.
like they beat
like,
Arsenal,
yeah.
like they beat West Ham. You know.
So this
So-
is very much a case of it's going to be week to week, which is why it's going to be so fucking fascinating.
Well, that honestly, which leads to one of the more interesting games of the weekend, is Nottingham Forest Aston Villa, and looks at Nottingham Forest. I believe it's at Nottingham Forest. Let me see, but it looks, I mean, like relegation implications and Champions League implications.
Well, it's who
with
do
a
you
lot
want
of
to
motivation.
win?
Right. So bridge us. That was a good bridge, Michael. Take us to bridge us
Bridge it.
from
Thanks
2 to 3.
Thanks for calling it out, Sam.
Get your dirty paws off my steering wheel.
Sorry.
My steer.
Sorry.
Yes, but I think that's the case. Now we have this like dual battle where it's like you kind of want you want Villa to lose for us, but you want Forest, you want Forest to win. I guess that could, because then it makes it more interesting for Spurs, and like it's
I think so. What's interesting about this is that, so I'm looking at the table now, like, so you've got, Forest hosting Villa, and I'm like, I'm kind of torn because obviously you want Villa to drop points, but at the same side, you're like, if Forest can go 5 clear of Spurs, I'll sacrifice my own team's dicey chances for Champions League to be more likely Spurs get relegated. Absolutely.
no, but we want both. Forest beats Villa. We want Villas to drop points and Forest to gain points.
I think we're all.
Oh, I'm being an idiot. Oh, I'm an idiot.
I started that, and then I got confused.
by that.
No, I did the same thing. It was confusing. Yes,
Forest
we
over
are
Villa.
all giant Forest fans this fucking
We're
weekend.
all massive
Fuck
Forest fans.
Villa.
Yeah,
and West Ham playing like West Ham
Which is
should
like
get
3
points from
managers
Spurs.
ago, 4 managers ago.
4 managers ago.
Isn't that crazy? How is that possible?
8 months ago.
Okay, so we're all West Ham over. We are West Ham this weekend.
We
are
West Ham.
Forest.
And Spurs are at
We're blowing
Sunderland.
bubbles. Pretty bubbles.
Yeah,
Spurs are at
Spurs
Sunderland.
are at Sunderland. They're gonna lose.
No way.
There's
With
so
a
many
new
good
manager.
games.
With a new
Oh my
manager.
God.
We forget they've gotten a new manager
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
De Zerbi.
break.
So what's cool is that they're gonna lose, or at minimum draw. And assuming that all that means is that West Ham has to beat Wolves, by the way, at West Ham. And if the results flow as expected after this weekend, Spurs are in the drop zone for the first time.
But Forest has to beat Villa, which is a large task.
No.
Either way, doesn't matter.
Forest is 2 points clear.
Doesn't matter.
This match week is going to end with Spurs in the relegation zone.
That's crazy.
And
I'm
you know
pretty
what?
sure I'm pretty sure De Zerbi's like known for having slow starts when he starts a managerial career, like a tenure
That's
as
the
well.
guy you want to bring in with 7 games to go
Yes,
to
but
not get
but
relegated.
to be fair, everything at Tottenham is like upside down backwards because like
No,
Ian
it's
Tudor was
it's like
supposed to be the
it's like
guy who
Stranger
stops the
Things.
bleeding, and he just like
Yeah.
never won a match. So.
No,
Stranger
it
Things
was
upside
absurd.
down. Spurs are underneath at the bottom.
No, but this is cool. So with West Ham, Wolves, with Forest, Villa, and with Spurs at Sunderland, the most likely scenario is that Spurs end match week 2032 in the relegation zone with 6 matches to go.
Crazy. It is, which is, I mean, it's like I think De Zerbi was the right hire for the long term, but they don't need the long term right now. They need the short term. So I guess we'll see how.
Yeah,
how
but
things
none of the
shake out.
short
It's
terms
just-
worked. So it's
No,
like,
it has not. So might as well try the long term.
And Sam and I have talked about. I mean, we've joked about this, but it's like, I mean, if I got to sacrifice like Chelsea in the Champions League so Spurs can get relegated, like, if that's what I have to root for, I
right.
mean,
Also,
it makes
because weren't
everything
you
more
guys?
palpable.
It does. It's
Because now
yeah.
the entire
I mean,
season only is about Spurs going down. Like that is such a very
And you guys could
exciting
get top
storyline.
5. You know, that
Yeah,
would be
no,
good too.
it's still very much in the mix, but God, I mean, Chelsea and Liverpool look terrible.
so it's got. I don't,
Bad.
Michael. I don't know if you've noticed this, but for the last couple weeks, especially, Mike Weinberg has been trying to sell this narrative that Spurs
Yes, I have
going
been.
down
Sorry.
is going to be a bigger story than Arsenal winning the league. And so I think
do sell that
you know,
story.
he's just trying to weave
just
those
It's fine.
threads.
You know what's going to be even bigger story is if Arsenal win the league and Spurs go down, because then it's like
Yeah.
kind of the ultimate, frankly,
Yes.
from an
That is
Arsenal
the
fan.
That is-
ultimate North London,
North London forever.
Yeah.
It literally
It-
makes
it
me
ends.
squirm.
Yeah.
It makes me
It would be hard.
squirm.
Well, it makes you squirm because you guys don't have a song. You'll never
Yeah,
walk
then
alone.
fuck-
You'll never walk
don't
alone
you-
used to make Arsenal fans
Sam,
squirm. So then Arteta just
Get your
generated a
hands
song.
out of the exact
And
point
it's-
that
you
hurts
gotta
the
admit,
most. That's exactly what it is, and
it's
I
kind of
fucking
worked.
hate it. I
That's what we
know.
wanted.
He
Well,
found the
here-
funny
your
spot.
reaction is exactly what we wanted. So thank you.
I
But I
know.
think
I know.
here's the parting thought for Chelsea, because I do actually agree your fandom in general would be so much more fun if you guys have a song.
Damn it.
It seems like to get a song, you need to have a manager for more than 2 seasons.
You think that's
And
it?
that's just not something that
Or
you
do we
guys
get a
have ever
song
done.
and the manager stays? Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the
Ooh.
song is the key. Maybe this song is what we've been missing this whole time.
Maybe this is what
I
we
think
need
your
to do
song
next.
should be
Maybe this is
it's
your
what-
new project, Mike.
Yes.
This is combine
100%.
Chelsea with
Michi-
your music production background, with your Michigan Hail to the Victors thing that
I
got
already
close
have
and
it.
never did. Oh, you already
Michael,
have it. Go ahead.
you
It's-
get your
it's-
grubby paws off of my
I know
song.
exactly what it is. I know it's "Money" by the Flying Lizards. That is the Chelsea song. Money. I want money. That's all I want, and I want. You know, that is the Chelsea song.
Ooh.
There you
I
go.
hope
Jesus.
that our
this
four.
started
I
yikes.
hope-
Jesus.
I hope that our 4
Ugh.
Premerica listeners, of the 4 of them, any of them know that song, which is probably
Look up
low.
"Money" by the Flying Lizards.
Okay, well, we're
You'll get
gonna
a-
go ahead and
you'll get
take
a-
that and move on and wrap
Yeah,
this up.
this started
Uh,
impersonal and then got really personal as
it's
as
got
these
very
episodes
odd.
tend to do. So
Yeah, if I wasn't rooting for Arsenal, I'm definitely not rooting for Arsenal anymore after that comment, and we will
So
see what
nothing's
happens.
changed.
But
Got it.
yeah, don't worry, you
nothing-
haven't been
So
for the whole
nothing's
season.
changed. Got
nothing
it.
has changed. Nothing has
Yeah.
changed. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're all still friends. I think. I hope.
I'm pretty sure.
After this,
I
I
think
will go
so.
check after. Are we okay?
are we
But
good?
we have look, at the end of the day, we've got a beautiful Prem weekend this weekend. Next weekend's gonna be epic as fuck too, with so many big games. Riding up to the final of the end of the season, and we'll see what happens. I mean, looks like Arsenal's probably got it locked up, but we'll see. Champions League could be literally anything could happen, and Spurs feel like they have a real shot at going down, and it might take a very big someone else falling apart even more to save them. And that's about as much as you can ask for going into the last 6 weeks.
Amen.
So,
Yeah. Any
amen.
words of wisdom today, Mike? I was looking forward to some thoughts to bring me center.
Yes, I will leave you with one. I will leave you with one parting thought, which is presence. Enjoy the ride, Michael, because at the end of the day, if and when you win the league, it will feel great. But existing in that, living in that moment of winning and on that journey and remembering what it felt like to be at your first Arsenal game, the year they won, the year that Messi 2.0 came to be in Mr. Dowman, I think to remind yourself to enjoy that moment and exist in it and not worry about next year or past years, but enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. That's my parting mini
Sage advice, my friend. Sage advice.
my mini stoppage time. All right, boys. Well, that's it
But
for us
also,
today.
at the same time, when Arsenal does lose matches like they did in the championship or the cup, or no, when they got knocked out by the championship level team, also continue to be yourself with the fucking disgraceful. Can't believe it. Fuck these guys. Worst
Sure,
performance I've
sure.
seen. So,
Hey, presence is
also
presence,
be
baby.
present in there.
In the
Presence is
losses as
presence.
well. Got it.
Yeah. Feel the feelings, Michael,
Because
because
that's the
you're a
fuel
stranger
that
to that.
feeds this whole algorithm. That your pain and
Absolutely,
suffering
absolutely.
is what
I'm
with
so
the
happy for
seasons
you. Yeah.
with the seasons that
I'll make
Liverpool and
sure
Chelsea are
to
having
be
this year.
present during the Liverpool PSG game next week as well. I'll be very there. I'll be watching.
But to call back on last one's suffering, not much suffering there because the expectations are just zero. So
It's just numb, just numbness.
just
God,
numb.
this
Just
I can't.
numb.
The joy this gives me of being able to connect these dots and
That's
seeing
the
it
new
land
Liverpool
is
song. Dun-dun-dun-dun, bum, bum, bum. That's like the numb encore, Jay-Z, Linkin Park.
yeah.
That was the
Oh,
intro. Did you get
ooh.
there?
I
I love it.
become
I'm
so
so
numb,
numb, I
I
can't
can't
feel you there.
there.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
on
Liverpool
that,
theme song.
There will be a money by the Flying Lizards Chelsea rendition incoming at some point today. Mike, don't you worry.
Oh, way to wind it back to that.
God, you just fucking had to kill it. We ended on a
This
universal
guy it is
chorus.
so hilarious. The world just operates so much better when Arsenal is not winning. Because even when they like play like shit, get a late 90 plus 2 minute winner, and now all of a sudden Michael's just peak Michael. And you just gotta love it.
God damn. Good luck against Bournemouth tomorrow. Fuck this. I'm out.
Yeah, we're rooting for you.
Bye.